Before you pay for another AI subscription, you need to know that the tool everyone says is the best is probably not the right one for you specifically, and choosing wrong means paying monthly for something that frustrates you daily. The framework. There is no universal best AI tool. That answer does not exist. What does exist is the right tool for your specific work, your workflow, and what you actually do all day. So instead of ranking these four against each other, the more useful question is which one fits who you are. Today we are covering ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity, what each one is genuinely great at, where each one falls short, and whether paying for it is actually worth it. ChatGPT, the all-rounder. ChatGPT is the jack of all trades, and that description is genuinely meant as a compliment. It handles the full range of everyday work well, drafting and rewriting documents, summarizing meetings and PDF files into action items, brainstorming, structured planning, and research. The deep research mode pulls from multiple sources and synthesizes a clean, structured report without you opening 40 tabs. The context continuity is unusually strong compared to most competitors, meaning the longer you use it on a project, the more useful it becomes because it draws on everything you have shared with it. Agent mode gives it the ability to do multi-step tasks using a virtual browser, shortlisting options, comparing them, drafting follow-up content based on what it found. Scheduled tasks let you automate recurring check-ins like a weekly AI news brief delivered without you having to ask. Projects keep all related files and instructions together in one workspace so the model stays consistent across a topic. Custom instructions let you lock in your tone and format once, and the model applies them across every conversation automatically. The drawbacks worth knowing: thinking mode is slow, sometimes taking 45 seconds or more for responses that should take half that. The model has become more rigid about how specifically you need to prompt it since GPT-5 came out, and some users find the outputs feel less natural than earlier versions. On privacy, your chats and uploads are used to train the model by default. You have to manually go into data controls and turn that off. Is it worth paying for? Yes. Specifically if you want agent mode, deep research, and the ability to create custom GPTs. If those features are not relevant to your work, the free tools elsewhere may genuinely serve you better. Claude, the deep work partner. When people say Claude is the deep work tool, they usually mean coding, because that is what it is most famous for. But the more accurate description is that Claude is exceptional for any work that requires sustained, careful thinking, long documents, complex reasoning, strategy, turning messy inputs into clean, structured outputs. Extended thinking mode lets it slow down deliberately on harder tasks rather than generating a fast answer that misses the nuance. The workbench feel is real and useful. Projects keep topic-specific workspaces organized the same way ChatGPT does. Artifacts gives you a separate side panel for large outputs, documents, tables, small interactive tools, so you are not scrolling through a chat to find a piece of work. The connector ecosystem is genuinely robust, particularly in the desktop app where you can connect to files on your local machine, browse the web from within a conversation, and integrate with external tools through MCP connections. Claude Skills are worth highlighting specifically. You set up a skill once, a playbook that tells Claude how to apply your brand voice, follow your proposal structure, or write in your company style. And it applies that playbook every time the relevant task comes up. Repeatable quality without rebuilding the prompt from scratch every session. The main limitations are a relatively small context window of around 200,000 tokens compared to competitors, and no image or video generation capability at all. On privacy, Anthropic does tend to focus more on responsible AI than most, but your conversations do feed into model improvement by default. You turn that off in privacy settings under Help Improve Claude. Is it worth paying for? Yes. If your work involves content creation, coding, complex analysis, long documents, or any task where careful reasoning matters more than speed. If you could only pick one tool and pay for it daily, many power users land here. Gemini, the Google ecosystem native. Gemini's 3 Pro model surprised the industry when it launched in late 2025. It is genuinely that good and reportedly caused OpenAI to accelerate the GPT 5.2 release by several months. If you were dismissing Gemini 6 months ago, it is worth revisiting because the gap has closed significantly. The headline number is the context window, 1 million tokens, which means you can feed it multiple long documents, extended conversation history, or enormous data files in a single prompt, and it processes all of it. The free plan context window drops to 32,000 tokens, so this is a meaningful reason to consider paying if context scale is relevant to your work. The real competitive advantage is Google Workspace integration. On the paid plan, Gemini lives inside Gmail, Docs, Drive, and Sheets without the copy-paste shuffle. Deep Research can optionally pull from your actual Gmail, Drive, and internal files alongside web sources, which means it can produce a brief grounded in both external research and your own company materials simultaneously. No other tool on this list does that natively. Gems functions similarly to custom GPTs. You build a reusable mini expert for a specific task, and it runs with consistent instructions every time. Canvas is an underused feature for creating presentation slides directly inside Gemini. Image generation through Imagen Pro and video through VO3 are genuinely strong multimodal capabilities if that matters to your work. The drawbacks are real. Content creation outputs often feel dry and lack personality even with the improved model. MCP connections are limited compared to Claude and ChatGPT. You get a handful of integrations, and that is it for now. Is it worth paying for? Yes. If you live in Google Workspace, if context window size is critical to your work, or if image and video generation are meaningful parts of what you do. Perplexity, the research detective. Perplexity is built differently from the other three, and understanding that difference is the key to knowing whether it belongs in your toolkit. It is a search-first assistant. Every answer comes with numbered citations you can click through, which makes it the tool of choice for any work you need to defend. Research you present to colleagues, analysis where the source matters, fact-checking where hallucination is genuinely costly. Pro Search Mode runs multiple searches, pulls from high-quality sources, and synthesizes a structured response. You can direct it to specific source types, academic papers, SEC filings, social discussions, or your own connected tools like Slack, Notion, and Google Drive. The Scheduled Tasks feature lets you automate recurring searches delivered on a schedule without having to prompt it manually. Spaces work like project hubs where you organize research threads with custom instructions per topic. The limitations matter here. Deep Research in Perplexity does not produce the depth of response you get from Gemini or GenSpark in the same category. Image generation is available, but basic. And if you are not primarily doing research work, the tool's specific strength, cited real-time answers, is not something you will use enough to justify the subscription. Is it worth paying for? Yes, if fast-cited answers and academic or real-time research are core to your daily work. Otherwise, the free plan handles basic searches adequately, and your $20 per month likely goes further elsewhere. 4 pieces of advice before you decide. First, try the free versions before paying for anything. For general use cases, most tools are converging towards similar base capabilities. You will know which one fits you within a week of actual daily use. Second, do not switch tools constantly. The longer you use one tool, the more context it builds about how you work and the more effective it becomes. The value compounds with time. Third, stick to monthly plans. The models are changing fast enough in 2026 that locking into an annual subscription on something that might be superseded in 4 months is a real risk. Fourth, check your existing subscriptions before buying anything. Some banking and productivity platforms already include paid AI access as part of their bundles. Check what you are already paying for before adding a new line item. One tool for all-around daily work, ChatGPT. Deep thinking and content, Claude. Google Workspace and multimodal, Gemini. Fast-cited research, Perplexity. Drop a comment telling us which one you are already using and whether it is working for you. Check the end screen right now for more AI tool breakdowns sitting there waiting.